So the other day, I was talking to Jesus and I was asking to if I could try to take away some of his pain, from his wounds, at least to relieve the pain from his wounds. And so this is where, because I said, I know there's no way that I could feel the type of pain you had because it's just so much, but if I could relieve it somehow. And I wonder what kind of pain he had and stuff, so or just what all it was. And so then I had a dream, an actual sleeping during the night dream, because usually they're visions, but this was a dream. And in the dream, I was at home, and there was a little boy, and it's like, okay, well, we have these clothes that my son's all grown up. We have these smaller clothes that we can give you, and this one has like a little cap, and it has these little gloves that are kind of connected, these three together. And so it's like a set where you put the cap on and then you put the gloves on, and so the arms have to be just the right length, and you look like the right length, the right size. And so here, let me put this cap on you. It was like a skull cap type. And here's these gloves. And at first he put them on and it was fine. And the boy looks like he's like 5 or 6, so he's a little small boy. And I think he was actually bald. When I think of it later, the boy was bald, didn't have hair up there. Or it was either very thin shaven or no hair. And so, and then he was like, oh, and I looked at the cap, and there was like a wire of some kind, and I was like, well, I can't pull this wire out. Here, let me take the cap off. And when I took the cap off and looked on top of the head, had all these cuts all over, just like different cuts, different misshapen cuts all over the top of the head. And it was deep, where one of them, like a piece of the flesh, was coming off. And I'm like, I told the parents, who are just, they don't even notice it. And I said, hey, he needs to go to the hospital. And I'm like, whoa, somehow I put this little hat on him, and now here's his head's like all chopped up. And I was like, oh my, how did this happen? And the parents, la 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 la, no, you need to take him to the hospital now. And so they finally look at it and go, oh wow, and then so they take him away. But it was, yeah, just like chunks of flesh almost coming right off. And so I thought of it later, and I think this was Jesus showing me the type of injury that he had. How the actual crown of thorns was not just an exterior thing of thorns, but it was an actual cap of thorns. And so the cap of thorns actually dug in and tore like flesh from like one side to the left, just like not straight lines either, but just like all rigmarole, just like tears all over the top of the skull, so that it broke off, that it went almost like drawing on top of the skull all the way through the flesh to the bone, and so that you could actually lift up a piece of the flap of the meat, which I know is horribly descriptive, but that's just what I saw, and I think that's what God suffered for you. That's what Jesus suffered for you. And I didn't see the gloves, if there was anything with the gloves. So now I'm thinking about it. Was there any kind of wounding with the hands? And no, I didn't see anything. It was more the skull cap that where the focus was on. And I had another portion of the dream where I was in the backyard, and it was like a tile floor outside, like a patio, and there were these chickens. Oh wow, chickens! Maybe we can eat them, and so well, at first I didn't know what they were. They were like kind of an animal, and then but they were white, and then they had blue and pink on them, or blue and kind of purpley pink, two spots of this other colors, and then I saw, oh, they're moving, and oh, it's an animal, oh, they're chickens. And so I grabbed one under each arm, and I'm running around saying, hey, my child, go look for husband, and go look for your dad, and maybe we'll have this chicken dinner tonight. And so I got the two birds, and then later they start to struggle, and I see my husband talking with friends. hey, hey, and he's not paying attention to me at all. And I get the bird's feet, which are like pointy nails, and I go poke, poke in his arm, and he doesn't pay attention to me at all. Like I'm not even there. And of course, I'm thinking, well, these are pretty birds. I start to change my mind. Like, well, maybe they can make more eggs and maybe make more chickens and maybe we'll grow them. And it's like, well, okay, maybe they belong to somebody, so I'm not going to eat them anymore. I'm now going towards putting them away and, getting them to be safe, to grow them and to make more chickens. Maybe someone lost them and all this stuff. And I'm like, where have there ever been white chickens with blue and pinkish purple spots? The two big spots like that, one blue on one side and the pink on the other side. Have you ever seen chickens like this? And I want to say no. And now I'm thinking, well, maybe these are chickens but in heaven. So maybe this is the color of chickens in heaven. So that's just what I want to throw out there. Okay, thank you.